Good evening and welcome to Baldwinville High School's West Gym for a Middle Border Conference matchup between the Baldwinville Blackhawks, 3-7 overall, 2-5 in conference, tied in 6th place, and the Altoona Railroaders, 6-8 overall, 2-5 in conference, tied 4-6 overall. I'm Jeremy Nygaard, joined tonight by our cameraman Zach Ambrose and Anthony Stitt. Stitty, how you doing this evening?
Yeah, doing great. Just kind of wanted to point out to everybody out there, we shouldn't have any bias tonight on the mics, as we've got, between the two of us, we've got both a graduate of Baldwin-Woodville and a graduate of Altoona High School. So this should be a fairly unbiased broadcast by the two of us.
That's fair. Myself, Baldwin-Woodville class of 2002. You yourself, Altoona class of 1980, 1970.
Yeah.
1990. You weren't that much ahead of me.
1992.
Yeah, and then you made your way over to Baldwinville High School just in time to see me through 4 years of high school.
4 full years of high school, that's correct.
And a lot of things happened in those 4 years. You became a father when I was in your class, not like while you were present in the class that I was in.
That's correct. I guess you could say I've accomplished a lot more here in Baldwin-Woodville than I did in Altoona.
But yeah, unbiased for sure tonight.
Yeah, really unbiased. And anybody that looks back into the record books, and for the probably 5 fans out there that watched me play basketball in 1992, I'll just apologize right now.
That's good stuff. Tonight's matchup will be a rematch of a Saturday, December 14th game in Altoona. If you were there, you will remember it because the ride home was not fun. It was very, very, very slippery. But what happened in the gym that night was kind of lopsided. The Hawks lost that game by 32 points. It was 84-52. A big, big game from sophomore guard Owen Gunderson. He's number 2. He's at the top of the key. He doesn't look like a sophomore. He looks pretty well put together, but he was on fire that night. 9 3-pointers, which if you add up my career total for threes and your career total for threes, we might not have had 9.
Well, you'd have to take my 0 and add it to whatever you made to see if we'd hit that. I might have even had a negative. I think they probably took some away for some of my fouls. But, Owen obviously destroyed him last game. And you also had Grayson Becker, who had a nice night that night. And, strangely enough, those two are the kids that lead them in scoring on the season. Becker with little over 19 points per game. Gunderson with a little over 16 points per game. So those are their 2 big guns that have been out there all year. Obviously went off on BW the first time they played, and we'll see what happens tonight. Yeah,
so teams have the identical conference record, but it's a weird feeling because I think with the Blackhawks coming into a year where you lost a lot of seniors, but you brought back Evan Clausen, who was one of the premier players in the conference, but a lot of question marks. And then you had Altoona that I think, at least in my opinion, was going to be a team that should have been in every conference game, could win every conference game, and yet comes in with a loss to Osceola, a loss to Amory, win against Somerset, but a loss at Central, loss to Prescott. I feel like it's a little bit more of a disappointing season so far for Altoona.
Yeah, and I would agree. And, kind of as you look as they go, BW is really tough to gauge. They've had some close losses late. Obviously, they had the big win against Prescott. But they seem to have gotten better as the season has gone on. That hasn't always translated into wins. Altoona has, again, kind of been, both teams have seemingly won games that you're wondering, okay, they're going to turn it around, and then they lose to somebody that makes you scratch your head.
Right, for sure. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn things over to Don Timmerman here for the in-arena announcing, and then we will have national anthem and lineups, and then we'll have tip. All right, so starters tonight for Altoona: number 2, Gunderson, a sophomore; number 3, Becker, a sophomore; number 4, Sinet, a senior; number 10, Hibbert, a senior; number 13, Van Vliet, a junior; and for your Blackhawks, number 1, Jacobson, a senior; 2, Clausen, a senior; 3, Sell, a senior; 5, Walthall, a senior; and 12, Bienendahl, a junior. We'll see plenty of sophomore Joe Jensen, who's coming off the bench now. It's going to be Becker and Clausen. Don't let the height difference fool you. If you watch a game last year, Grayson Becker threw down on the Hawks and tried to dunk on Gavin in Altoona earlier this year. Hawks will possess.
All right, we started out. We've got, looks like Altoona starting out in a little man.
Evan catching it in the on the block, and Dane shooting threes. That's different than we normally see to start.
Yeah, and maybe not the shot that they necessarily wanted, but they sagged so far off of Dane, I think he kind of felt like he had to shoot it.
And Gunderson misses a three. We didn't see much of that in the last game. Becker that's an HDMI thing. All right, so if you're not seeing the game, it looks like we're good now, so sorry about those technical difficulties. Clausen 2 no good. It's going to be retained here by the Blackhawks.
Yeah, in the meantime, you haven't missed much. We had a possession down on this end. Shot up in the lane by Clausen, missed it. Rebound went out of bounds, back to the Blackhawks.
Jacobson has had spurts of being very hot from the perimeter this year.
Yeah, streaky. Clausen will take.
Gavin's got to be careful there. He kept that one alive, but
it is, and we've seen a lot of that contact so far on all of the shots, I think, on rebound. So look, that looks like an area where they're going to let him play a little bit. Blackhawks in that 3-2 zone that we've seen all year.
They're going to try to operate through Becker, who's he's listed at 6'2", but more of a guard type.
Now, the first time they played, the Blackhawks did play a little bit of this 3-2 against Altoona. They played a lot of man. They played a little bit of this 3-2, but they were just kind of starting out with it, dabbling with it. Now it's really their defense that they go to.
That's an interesting...
Well, I don't understand how that wasn't a jump ball. You leave your feet, the ball comes like that. That should be an automatic jump ball call. And Coach Benoit is explaining that to the official.
Jacobson for three. Off the back rim, and that's going to be Sells first.
Yep, and a clear foul.
I think you hope that through some film and through some now playing a dozen games that you'd start getting away from some of those.
And we've got a clock situation.
It's so the construction is because it's construction in the student section.
So we've had a little clock snafu. We've had a little technical difficulties up here. And it's still 0-0 on the floor, so you haven't missed anything.
We haven't been up here for a while, though, Stiddy. It's been...
Yeah,
what's today? Has it been a full week since you've been up here? It's been even longer for me.
Yeah, well, Zach and I, we got to witness a great girls game. If you guys missed that last week, the girls picked up an overtime win against a really good Durand team. And was your last game up here the Prescott game?
I feel like... I'm not sure. Life just goes by so fast. I feel like there was a girls' game in between there, but maybe I'm wrong. I spent a lot of nights in the gym. Becker for two, still no good. There comes Gunderson.
Yep, crashing in. It was tipped. Long possession right now for Altoona.
Gunderson again, offensive rebound to Becker. No good, and Gavin Sell is going to muscle that one away from all contenders. And here come the Hawks. About 4 minutes into this game.
Yeah, and if you're Altoona right there, I don't know what more you can ask for. You got, you had open threes, you had open looks in the lane, you couldn't make anything.
Gavin Sell, no good. Becker rebounds. I don't know if our football team ever went the first 4 minutes of a game without scoring. Becker on a travel.
It wasn't very often, that's for sure.
You know, when it did happen in Madison, that still hurts me. All right, Walthal's going to bring the ball up. Thatcher's been hitting some threes early in games. He might look to get a shot here and get the Hawks in the scoring column.
He has, and I don't know if you could hear Coach Benoit on the broadcast, but he was yelling for getting the ball reversed. And what do we see then on the first possession? The ball has not moved off the right side of the floor.
3-second call, I believe that was on Gavin, and here comes the sophomore, Joe Jensen, number 10.
And we're seeing a little extension here. Looks like a little full court 1-2-2.
And with the length that the Hawks have, I mean, I don't think that's shocking, but when you've held a team scoreless for 4.5 minutes, switching things up might not always work.
You know, and that's a nice drive in there and a jump stop. I would have liked to have seen him attack Gavin there, especially knowing Gavin has one.
Altoona was a thorn in the Blackhawks side throughout the 2000s. Often seeing them in the regional final. I want to say that happened 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, it happened a couple of years in a row.
Gavin Self for 3. Nothing but air and baseline. So Marcus' senior year. Zach senior year. And then another year in there. Was there more than one?
The year after Zach's senior year, so it would have been 2004.
And I don't know, was that the regional final or was that just a regional game? I don't think it was a final.
I can't tell you for sure. I do know it was at Altoona, as they all seem to be at Altoona.
Yep.
And that's going to be a 10-second count.
Just like I said, mix things up when you're holding team scoreless, and maybe you can
continue to hold them scoreless. Yeah, well, sometimes as a coach, too, you're looking at your defense. Hey, can we generate some offense out of our defense?
Right.
As neither team has generated any offense yet. I'll be honest, I didn't have on my scorecard 6 minutes without a point.
And Gavin Sell, as expected, scores the first basket.
And just in under the buzzer, so we didn't go 6 minutes without a point.
And Joe Jensen.
And good hustle down, turnover in the front court.
Jensen's going to take it. There's going to be a foul. That's going to give me an opportunity to thank all of our sponsors here at Blackhawk TV. Timmerman Realty, Nielsen's Food, St. Croix Garage Doors, Firehelm Langer, Flagship Ford, Wisconsin Credit Union, OEM Fabricators, CW Garage Door Distribution, Baldwin Lightstream, Fenner & Jewelers, Helverson Concrete Solutions, A-Star Concrete, Strikers Lanes and Sports Bar, Jensa Studios, Western Wisconsin Health, Bolts Plumbing and Heating, The Smokehouse, Shaver Financial Services, Bumper to Bumper, Whitecap Financial Advisors, DMS Repair, Lakes Gas, Phoenix Bar and Grill, Village Pharmacy, TMS Auto, Pete's Construction, Burns Lawn Care, American Family Insurance, and St. Croix Customer Apparel. Thank you to our sponsors.
And Jensen good on his first. He's averaging 8 points. Sometimes coming off the bench, sometimes starting. He came off the bench today. And that's going to be Gavin's second. Good, strong take. Becker to the line. And that's the evolution of Gavin Sell we've seen as a player that, when you've got your first foul and you're at the 11.5 minute mark, if you're going to contest that, you can't.
Right.
I mean, you just can't do it that hard. You can't swat at the ball.
Becker misses both. We're going to award that to number 10.
Hunter Hibbert is, I believe, tipped that in, yeah.
And we are back to the JV scoreboard, so you're going to have to count on my math if you want to know how many points players have. Oh, good pass.
Good look, and bucket there for Bignell. Looked like he expected there to actually be somebody.
Yeah.
He pump faked the air and then decided, hey, there's nobody here.
And if he would have if he would have known that no one was there, I think he might have tried a two-hand dunk. He's got one earlier this year.
That one's going to stay here off of Clausen. You know, against this zone, I think Altoona's had good ball movement. They've, for the most part, gotten pretty good shots.
Oh, good look.
But they haven't been able to finish any, and that there's another example. That's a good look inside now. Some good recovery defense. That said, there has also been some sloppiness with the ball.
There has been that. And I know sloppy because I officiated 2 C-Squad games tonight. And I'm talking about my officiating. And that's going to be a fall-on-wall fall. Did you ever do any officiating, City?
Just use stuff when literally there was nobody else in the gym and they looked at me and said, all right, you can do it. Other than that, really no.
I've done a lot of middle school stuff. And in the middle school, those players are smaller than me. You know, maybe there's one that's my height. Everybody tonight was taller than me, which makes it really hard to see. And I can't see around, I can't see through people.
Yep.
It's difficult. Now with 3 people, the angles are a little bit better. You got the deeper baseline in this gym, so you can get a little bit deeper without running into the wall. But just a reminder that officiating's hard.
It is. And Jacobson tries to spin, and he's going to throw it away. And in the meantime, for the Blackhawks, we have Ben Johnson in the game.
Scott just yelled, "Jeremy, where are you going?" And I had like deja vu.
You may have heard that a time or two.
It was mostly, "What are you doing?" All right, there's a corner 3, no good. That was Sinnott.
So at this point, I mean, you kind of just have to say which team is going to start making shots.
Joe Jensen.
And there's one right
Joe
there.
Jensen's going to start making shots. He's got a game-high 5 points off the bench.
And that time it looked like half the Blackhawks were pressing, the other half were not, so a little miscommunication there. They're back into their 3-2.
Yeah, leaving Michaels pretty much unchecked. And Sinnett's going to hit that 3, so the Rails answer the Blackhawks 3.
And you just figured it was a matter of time before guys started hitting shots. So there were too many open looks at the beginning that weren't going down. And I know that these rims are often tight, but they're not that tight.
Well, I mean, the one that Joe made didn't touch any rim. So, all right, so we got a short timeout. Jensen Studios offers over 24 virtual and in-person and group fitness classes. We provide a space for every body and every goal. Enjoy flexible plans that fit your lifestyle. Join today at www.jeonsastudio.com. Bumper to Bumper is a locally owned and operated driving school located in Somerset. We offer complete driver education and training consisting of online classroom, in-person classroom instruction, and behind-the-wheel training. So if you're getting ready to apply for your Wisconsin State driver's license, or if you're an adult and just need a refresher course, then Bumper to Bumper is here to help. Visit online at www.btbsdllc.com. Stiddy, I think we have another home game on Friday. You're going to be here with me, I think?
Yeah, and it's another game to try and avenge a big loss against Amory, a team that beat BW by a lot the first time they played, similar to Altoona.
Yeah, it was quite an offensive performance. I think I went into that gym thinking that the Wallens were going to do heavy lifting in the scoring, and it turned out to be some freshman kid off the bench that knocked down like 5 first-half threes, and everybody was making threes. It was raining threes on the Amory end, and Ended with 91 in a quite convincing Warriors victory.
Oh, nice little pass there, and good hang in the air by Bignell. Puts it down and one.
Foul is going to be called on Connor Gower. And all and one opportunities here at Blackhawk TV are brought to you by Pac-Man's Concrete. You can contact Nick or Jason at 612-804-5222 for any and all of your concrete needs. And we got a, what do we have?
We have a lane violation against Altoona. So Royal will get another chance at this.
That's a tough one.
Honestly, I didn't see it, but
I didn't either.
Royal says, hey, I got a glass. Let's use it.
So right now, the Hawks have, just as people would probably expect, 5 from Jensen, 5 from Bignell, and 2 from Self.
Yeah, and in the meantime, so Altoona had a great long distance pass. Somehow it was blocked, and somehow Altoona steals it back.
Ethan Michaels hits a 3. Yeah, so officials on the floor are just part of the floor. So you play on if it ever comes in contact with an official. I feel like Evan's going to look to get a shot here, and he does. Off back iron, and here comes Altoona with the chance to tie or take the lead. I believe the largest lead tonight was 5 points. Oh, good look. And Clausen's going to clear that one.
And another good look inside. Again, Altoona can't finish at the rim. They've really struggled with that tonight, finishing there. And a lot of reaching. You know, every time BW catches it, someone's reaching at him.
Is this like rust from not playing a game in a week?
It could be.
I mean, the Prescott game came after, a 3-day break. This comes on a 6-day break.
And Altoona's coming off a loss at Osceola just on Friday, so they played 3 nights ago.
Yeah, surprised that there was no boys or girls game Thursday or Friday night, right?
Yeah. Interesting off week for BW.
Corner 3, no good. Looked like Gower got away with a little push there, but
it did, but hold your ground.
Yep. Good take by Gunderson, and he's now in the scoring column. That's Owen Gunderson. Big score for Altoona.
Yeah, and we're tied. And I saw the push that you were talking about as well, but that starts on the defensive end when you're boxing out. Hey, you got to make contact with that guy first.
Right.
You got to go in and get him so that he can't push you.
Walthall for 3. Offside of the rim, and Gunderson rebounds but lands on the baseline. Hawks will keep possession.
So perimeter shots for BW. I know that Jensen has a made 3. Otherwise, there hasn't been much. Now that said, both teams have struggled shooting the ball completely.
Walthall left the game. Looks like he was bleeding. Jacobson 3, no good. Clausen uses his big body to possess that. Joe Jensen 3, no good. And that's going to be a foul, I believe, on Altoona.
Yeah, it should be.
Simmons first.
Yep, Vienendahl had position, and Altoona came over, created the contact. We say over the back, but we all know that's not a foul. It's the contact and going over the back that is a foul.
Yeah, it's not a foul to be more athletic if you can just jump higher.
Yeah.
The words officials like to use is the word is displacement. And there was certainly displacement on that last foul call.
We see a little more swing in action now. They're using both sides of the floor. Jacobson inside, no. And Bignell did show off his hops there, a little missed-time jump there.
And that's a bucket by Van Vliet, his first.
Yep, good follow-up.
And the Railroaders take their first lead of the night.
And Altoona has had a number of offensive rebounds here in this first half. They haven't been able to finish on a lot of those, but they've had a lot. And if you keep getting those shots, you're going to start making them. Nice box out there. But after that box out, failed to grab the ball.
And Evan Clausen, three-pointer. I have an answer to why there was no games last Thursday or Friday, and it makes a lot of sense. The play.
Yep.
Volleyball announcer, longtime friend of Blackhawk TV, Becky Brock, sending me that little tidbit. We have a timeout on the floor. A couple ads for you. Are you looking for a local HVAC company you can trust? For over 65 years, Bolts Plumbing and Heating has been your #1 Lennox dealer in western Wisconsin with unbeatable service and prices. Whether you're looking to upgrade to a Lennox home comfort system or need emergency same-day repair, the experienced staff at Bolts Plumbing and Heating are here for you 24/7. Bolts services all major brands of equipment. Call us today at 715-684-3378 or visit online at bolts.com. Be sure to ask about our discount club. Bolts Plumbing and Heating, service is our top priority. DMS Repair is a repair shop located northeast of Baldwin off Highway 63, repairing all makes and models. They have all new EFI diagnostic equipment to repair all machines. If you're a do-it-yourself person when it comes to repairs or need accessories such as riding gear or add-ons to your machines, DMS Repair offers a discount on all parts and accessories. And finally, the market is changing. Take advantage of our combined 30-plus years of experience to guide you through it. Call Don at 715-684-9541 or Andrew at 715-928-0410 of Timmerman Realtors for all your realty needs.
All right, so we come out of here a little over 4 minutes left here in the first half, and 15-14, a one-point lead for the Blackhawks. And this game to me still feels like if somebody can start to shoot the ball, we can start to see a run. And
right.
It could be both teams. But neither team has shot the ball well here to start.
No, they haven't.
We'll do our job and say it's good defense.
Yeah, I mean, teams have had opportunities, right? That's going to be a whistle.
I'm curious to see who this is on.
Yep. That's on Joe, his first.
Yeah, and that's the right call. I thought they were originally going to call it on Evan,
Yep.
but the foul was definitely before he got to Evan.
Yeah, I thought that was the correct call. Sinnott with a free throw. He leads Altoona right now with 4 points. 4 of their 15. Miles Sinnott, a senior, he averages 12.5 a game.
Yeah, their third leading scorer, so with 5 points now, he's moving in around his average. Or on pace for his average, I should say. Nice left-handed move by Evan. Everything but the finish. And they're going to set it back up.
And he's spending way more time on the block. And he's an excellent passer, so I mean, even if he gets doubled, he's able to pass out of that. Jacobson, good, his first basket of the night.
Yeah, and you're right. We haven't seen much of him down on the block. I mean, I'm sure some of that is due to the fact that Gavin has been out of the game.
And no Aiden Fitz in the gym tonight. He's
yeah, he is sick. So they are a little short-handed.
That three by Van Vliet well short. And here comes Wallfall. Van Vliet trapped with that ball, and he fires it off Jacobson to...
Yep, made a nice play. He didn't have any way out. He figured a way out. And BW is going to slide back into their zone, it looks like. They've switched it up here more in the first half than we've traditionally seen between their half-court 3-2 and their full court.
That three by, I believe it's Schmoody, hits a three. So now Altoona retakes the lead. They have now a 2-point lead. A lot of back and forth so far this game. Hawks have led by as much as 4, or as many as 4.
Yeah, and what we missed there, Van Vliet kind of doing that little hang around. Had a steal, but was out of bounds.
Good take.
Yeah, and you saw 3 guys try to collapse on Clausen when he had it, and they're going full court again. No, they're not.
And the 3-2 with Evan in the back row.
Yeah, we've seen Venedal up on top with Gavin out of the game. And gets his hand on it, and it will stay with Altoona.
Yeah, Dane Train, he's a turnover machine. We saw it all fall.
Yeah, we saw it in the football season.
Nose for the ball, quick. Tipped and stolen by the Hawks as they look to retake the lead here as we close in on 90 seconds left in the first half.
And Dane was a little deep away from the basket, I think, there. Probably should have kicked it back out. Good take by Altoona.
Yeah, Gunderson misses. Becker was trying to get a put back there, no good. That's going to be a foul on Grayson Becker, his first. And Hibbard returns to the lineup.
Yeah, and not a great foul this far away from the basket. And you could see there, nice job by Altoona. BW was trying to get it in, get it post pass into Evan. In the meantime, yeah, great post pass by Evan. Good cut there by Joey Jensen.
So Jensen up to 7, leads all scorers. That's what I thought we'd saw more of from Becker, is kind of that explosivity there. It's going to be Clausen's first, and Becker's going to go back to the line.
Yeah, and he's a tough matchup when he gets it there in that high post, because he can put it on the floor and attack the basket. I like what they're doing with him there. Another situation, though, of I think that's a good shot. I know he's at the line, but he kind of wishes he would have finished that one.
Yep. And Becker's got 4 on the game, all from the stripe, 4 for 6, as he is a 68% free throw shooter on the season.
Nice cut there by Evan. Good step around.
So quiet early, he's up to 7, ties his teammate Joe Jensen.
Yeah, and you see Altoona trying to send guys at him. That time he just spun away from the double, got to the baseline. And BW is going to extend out.
Gunderson takes a fall away 3, no good. And that's how the half is going to end, with the Hawks going in to the intermission with a 2-point lead, 23-21. We're going to take a break. We'll be back with you in just a handful of minutes to recap the first half and talk about the upcoming second. All right, welcome back to half number 2. Before we get too far into it, let's recap the scores here in the first half. We'll start with Altoona. Owen Gunderson, 2 points. Grayson Becker, 4 points. Miles Sinnott, 5 points. Ethan Michaels, 3 points. Hunter Hibbert, 2 points. Connor Schmoody, 3 points. Sawyer Van Vliet, 2 points, for a grand total of 21. On the Hawk side, Jeremy Jacobson with 2. Evan Clausen with 7. Gavin Sell with 2. Thatcher Walthall, scoreless. Joe Jensen, 7. Royal Bignell, 5. Nobody has more than 1 foul except for Gavin Sell for the Hawks, who sat for quite an extended period there in the first half.
Yeah, about the last 11 minutes, I would say, Gavin was out. I think both, that all of us up here in the booth would agree that overall it was just kind of a sloppy first half. Not a lot of made shots. We'll say some good defense played by both teams, leading to some of those bad shots, but there were offensive rebounds and putbacks that were missed, a few turnovers, and I still believe that the team that can start to control the ball, hang on to the ball, and make some shots, it's pretty simple to say, but is going to be the team that comes out of here.
Right. So we'll get underway here. I'm going to quick read an ad. Stay warm and cozy this winter with Lakes Gas, your hometown source for reliable propane. Located in Roberts or Hager City, Lakes Gas is a local family-owned propane company who is focused on keeping their customers warm and communities thriving. Visit www.lakesgas.com and see what the Lakes Gas difference is all about. Hawks lost to Altoona earlier this year in a game on Saturday, December 14th. The final score was 84-52. A much lower scoring game. Seems to favor what the Hawks try to do as you look through the ledger. The Hawks have won games. They've won games, in the 70s, but typically play lower scoring games. They beat Prescott 46-45. That close game with Osceola was 53-60. The overtime game against Somerset, 65-72. Last game against St. Croix Central was a loss, 44-32, whereas Altoona's scoring more points. They've had 2 games where they've scored. 1 game there they scored in the 90s and 2 others where they've scored in the 80s. So let's see what happens here in half number 2.
Yeah, and one of the things that you can say is BW has gotten better here in the second half of the year of making games sloppy, making games more their style. We saw earlier in the year they were giving up a lot of points. Now they're slopping things up, keeping it down into the 40s, 50s, and I think you're right. That definitely does favor BW.
Gunderson here on the wing. He had just 1 basket in the first half, 9 threes in the first meeting, and that is a 3-pointer by Miles Sinnott to give the Railroaders a 1-point lead. A lot of back and forth in the first half. If you are just joining us, the Hawks led by as many as 4, Altoona led by as many as 2. Lots of lead changes, plenty of ties, and Clausen is going to give the Hawks back a lead. He's now got 9.
And we see the Hawks come back to that full court, which did give Altoona some issues.
Missed there by Van Vliet.
And we also saw that out of Altoona, that they were able to break down that full court press and not able to make the shot. We also do have a little lineup change here from the starting lineup, as we have Joey Jensen is in there starting this half.
Gavin Sell here with a basket. And that foul is on Hibbert, his second. Gavin's going to go to the line where he shoots free throws at a 57% clip. Like all of his usage percentages, those numbers have gone up as he's getting more used to playing basketball for the first time in 4 years.
Yeah, and it's been fun to watch his progression throughout this year, and you just see him getting more and more confident and just better.
Yeah.
And there's another turnover, really an unforced one. Altoona throws it away up the sideline, just not a good pass. It's going the other way.
Clausen pull up hard off backboard. So after surrendering the lead here right away in the second half, Hawks back to their largest lead of the game.
Good ball movement here by Altoona.
And another three by Sinnott. That's his third. He's a 35% shooter on the season, coming in with 27 makes in 14 games, so just under 2 a game, but now he's got 3 tonight with plenty of time left.
Yeah, and really nice possession by Altoona. They worked it on both sides of the floor. They came inside and out. Got the three. Jeremy Jacobson.
Now he's hitting a three. He's only shooting 18% on the year, but when he's made them, he seems to make them in pairs or more. So we'll see if he's looking to get his shot next time. There goes Becker, and that athleticism. That was quick to the rack. He's got 6.
Yeah.
Sinnott leads the team with 11.
Yeah, and finally Altoona got it to the middle of the floor there against that press and just turns on the jets and gets to the basket for Grayson Becker. Nice move.
Jacobson looked to get a shot there, no good. And here comes Altoona, 2-point game. Was Altoona in the Cooley? No, they were in the Clover Belt.
Yep. The many iterations of the Clover Belt. When I played, we played in what was called the Western Clover Belt at the time. They were sometimes the large Clover Belt and the small Clover Belt. They've kind of shuffled in and out of teams. Back in my day, there was Gilman, for example, Cadet, Cornell were all in the Clover Belt.
They were tiny schools, right?
They were. Those later got replaced by Regis and McDonald into the Clover Belt.
Also small, but drawing from a slightly larger
yes.
pond. Are they still in the Clover Belt?
I believe so, yes. And a lot of those schools, it's a good basketball school, and it has been a good basketball school for a long time. Even just those smaller schools. I mean, you had Fall Creek in there that's always been an outstanding, both boys and girls.
Gunderson three, no good.
Basketball team. Long rebound out to Hibbert. Hibbert's got his hands on a lot of boards today.
He's going to take a shot from in the lane, no good. Gunderson, though, keeps it alive. And then Sell steals it from Becker. Bounce pass. Jacobson fouled, no good. He's going to go to the free throw line. You don't see people making that pass very often, that accurately.
No, that's an all-state quarterback making that pass.
Jacobson shooting 62.5% on the season. He misses his first. And here comes Vienendahl in for Jensen. And makes the second.
Good on the second, and they're back into that long zone.
Good look, and that's a basket by Gower, his first basket.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how long Coach Benoit sticks with that 1-2-2. Now that's 2 possessions in a row where Altoona's made the pass to the middle of the floor and immediately beat him for a layup.
Sell from 15 feet, good. He's got 7.
Yeah, and the part of the offense that was missed that last 11 or so minutes when he was sitting on the bench.
Missed by Becker.
Another long rebound, and that looked like it traveled.
But instead, it's a 2-point basket by Sinnott. He's got 13 to lead all scorers in the game. And a timeout by Coach Benoit. It's going to be a full timeout. I'm going to tell you about Nielsen's Foods, who's been serving community since 1903. We have our full-service Caribou coffee, bakery, deli, and meat departments. We pride ourselves with our award-winning Nielsen's Market meats and our friendly staff. Nielsen's vision is to build a strong family of customers and employees by delivering superior service to our customers, offering employee growth opportunities, reinvesting in our stores, and serving in our communities. Members of Wisconsin Credit Union can access account information and take care of most everyday banking needs via Wisconsin Online, the mobile app, and text banking. Immediate access to your Wisconsin accounts is also available 24 hours a day via touch-tone phone. Visit them at wisconsincu.org to learn more. For over 38 years, OEM Fabricators has been your one-stop shop for medium to heavy-duty custom critical metal fabrication used globally to make equipment for the construction, mining, rail, oil and gas, and agriculture industries. A Wisconsin Manufacturer of the Year winner, our certified family-friendly workplace employs 280 Wisconsin team members in Woodville, Neillsville, and Phillips. If you're looking for a unique opportunity, we offer flexible schedules 7 days a week and a variety of metalworking skill sets. To learn more, check out our website at www.oemfab.com. That's www.oemfab.com. OEM Fabricators, manufacturing like we mean it.
All right, well, we've seen both teams come out here in the second half, definitely shooting the ball better than they were in the first half. Little bit of, almost an explosion of scoring compared to what we saw when we went almost 6 minutes at the start of the first half without any points. And again, we've seen a lot more post-ups from Evan today.
No good by Jacobson.
And that one's going to stay here. I think that was an ill-advised pass by Sell. He's got to recognize the double coverage. I think there was a safety over the top that he didn't initially recognize.
Sell from 17. No good. And Clausen just got called for his third foul.
And that was an interesting call on the foul. For a second there, I thought it might go against Altoona. I didn't think what Evan did warranted a foul. He was going for it. He didn't gain really an advantage. But it was also a ball far enough away that you don't put yourself in that position of potentially getting a foul call.
Becker to Gunderson, corner three. No good. He has missed all of his three-pointer attempts.
Yeah, a little different story tonight than what we saw, obviously, the first game in Altoona. And a little full court pressure now by Altoona.
Thatcher to Vienendahl. He is fouled.
Yeah, and good penetration there by Thatcher.
Dane a little long on that first free throw.
And Dane only a 45% free throw shooter coming in. Misses them both. Gavin Sell can't quite put it back.
And I think part of that was Gavin. Like, you just got to keep slowing the game down. He plays at such a breakneck speed that he doesn't need to.
Absolutely, and that was one where he didn't have to.
Right.
Especially when you're the biggest guy out there on the floor, which he is at this point.
And he gets fouled there by Hibbard, his third.
Yeah, and he did slow down a little bit there before he took his move, kind of figured out what he was going to do, and hey, he attacked the basket.
It made his only attempt so far tonight.
And I know we say it, as it is his first year of playing basketball, but boy, it would have been interesting to see had he played 4 years.
Yeah. Yeah, it would have been. He's got 8 tonight. All tied up here as we approach a 10-minute mark in regulation.
Yeah, and watching Altoona here in the second half, it seems they're a little more deliberate against this zone now. They're in a little less of a hurry, which they seem to be. They seem to be moving a little bit slower, but they're still getting good looks. We got a foul called there.
Big no.
Yeah. And I think that was almost one where the official was forced to either call a foul, but because the Altoona kid, I think he might have stepped on the line and was forced out of there, so you have to call a foul in that situation.
Gunderson finds Hibbard. Gower, reverse layup, no good.
And another missed interior shot for Altoona. And we've got Dane Bienendahl stepping up and taking a charge.
It's going to be Michael's first.
Okay, you have him for 1. It sounds like the scores table announced 2.
Really? Interesting.
Unless I misheard the sultry tones of Don Tillman.
Big Nell baseline, no good.
Tuna doing a nice job swinging the ball.
Becker pull up, good. Grayson Becker now has double figures. I'd almost say it's a quiet 10 for him, and he doesn't do anything real quietly.
No, and we saw really a complete full court pressure. They're back into a zone here for Altoona. They're down into a 2-3.
That's a travel.
I'm not sure why. I know it looked ugly, but didn't he get rid of the ball before he came down?
I don't know. You'll be able to watch the replay here momentarily. I thought he landed first. You think he
I think it was clean. Watching it a second time, I still think he got rid of the ball before his foot touched the ground.
Ooh, yeah, that's close. All right. Full timeout. Are you financially prepared for the big game of life? Whitecap Financial Advisors wants to help you with your game plan. Just like no two teams are the same, no two investors are the same. Here's the play-by-play. Together rule 1, make the plan. 2, work the plan. 3, review the plan. Whitecap Financial Advisors specializes in investment management, financial and retirement planning, life insurance, and education funding. Call today to set up your no-cost, no-obligation appointment at their Roberts or Turtle Lake location, 715-760-9001. From the roughest seas to the highest peaks, Whitecap Financial Advisors will be with you every step of the way. Securities and investment advisory services offered through Osaic Wealth Incorporated, member FINRA, SIPC. Osaic Wealth is separately owned, and other entities and/or marketing names, products, or services referenced here are independent of Osaic Wealth. Flagship Ford is your source for new and used Ford cars, trucks, SUV parts, service, and more in the Baldwin area. Our goal is to provide the best possible service to our customers and make sure your car buying experience is second to none. We're conveniently located at 850 Fern Drive in Baldwin. And one more. St. Croix Garage Doors provides Western Wisconsin with top quality garage door sales, service, and installation. We proudly serve Baldwin, Woodville, Hudson, Nurchman, River Falls, Stillwater, Menominee, and surrounding areas. Give Brian a call today at 715-781-8989 for a quote, install, or service.
All right, yeah, going back to that play, I do think he stayed up in the air. However, sometimes I think he get penalized just because, well, play doesn't look right.
Yep.
And it didn't look right. In the meantime, Clausen is back on the floor with his 3 fouls.
But Evan's played enough basketball where you just say, hey, Evan,
Yep.
you can't foul.
Yep, and we'll see if Altoona tries to attack the top of that zone where he's at. Tip ball.
Wow.
And Dane almost able to tip it again. And those are the plays where as Evan, you got to be nervous, because that's
right.
one where
Yep.
if he's going for that ball, you pick up a fourth.
Yep. Yeah, Dane really accelerated there past the Altoona player. It was quite impressive.
Another tip ball by Dane. This one goes out of bounds.
Becker got a short break. He's checking back in.
Yeah, and these are the things that Dane can bring to the team. He's a kid. He doesn't need to score to impact a game. He can tip passes. He can get in the lane. He can block shots. All of those things can impact a game. And Dead over there in the corner. And
oh, that's a tough one.
Kind of two iffy calls that went there. They said on the initial, to me it's a travel. They said it was that he never fully had possession, which I can understand.
That's what I saw.
To me, that was a pretty blatant charge, though.
Becker 3, no good. Block charge calls are they're so hard. And another 3 by Sinnott.
They are, I agree. And a lot of times if you've already made a charge call against a team just a couple possessions earlier,
yep.
You're hesitant as an official to call another one.
I would also advocate for the circle, the semicircle underneath the hoop.
Yeah, and you and I know that we disagree on that.
Not the first time, Stiddy, not the first time. Clausen, corner 3, long.
Good possession by BW. Got it on both sides of the floor. Gavin Sell decides he's going to press, and they cause a turnover. And I thought that could have been, I thought he got fouled as well. But in the meantime, out of bounds, ball's going the other way.
Altoona up 5, largest lead of the game for the Railroaders. This game was tied at 35. Lots of back and forth. Hawks have led by as many as 4. Plenty of ties, lots of lead changes. Becker kicks it back out. Another 3. No good.
Long rebound out to Jacobson. We've seen Altoona corral a lot of those long rebounds.
Clausen, good. Evan Clausen now has 11.
Yeah, and most of his points have come down low in the paint, something that we're not used to usually seeing out of him.
Gower is the 3rd sophomore here that plays. That sophomore group of Railroaders very good.
And that one is tipped again. It's going to stay here with Altoona. And yeah, we've almost seen an inversion the last few possessions where we've seen Gavin bringing the ball up and we've seen Evan posting up.
Right.
Now Altoona content here to work the ball around, get a good look.
I mean, a lot of things can happen in 5 minutes, but if you can bleed time and get a good look at the end of it, you take that. Instead, almost tied up.
Yep, and
Becker, there's
now,
your basket.
With that said, I don't think Altoona was trying to milk the clock there.
No.
They were just content to wait for a good shot. And that 2-2-1 comes back. And immediately, BW attacks it, gets a layup.
Yeah, crossing with 13 now. That was pretty easy.
Yeah, it was one pass to the middle, and it was over. And we're seeing a lot of doubling now. This is the second time we've seen double team over there in the corner.
Hey, do you think, Stiddy, Becker rims out and it's going to be not safe? Do you think there's any, is it on purpose that the Altoona coaches wear white on the road?
No, I think they just bought white shirts.
Because, you know, out of the corner of your eye, you make that pass, and whoops. It was actually, in the NBA, you can't wear Jacobson 3 front rim.
Nope. And that's going to be off a cell.
You can't wear, they changed it, like if you're a player that's on the bench, you can't wear the opposing team's color for that reason.
Okay, it's an interesting theory. I don't know if Altoona's coaches have looked into that.
See, we got to figure out.
It's the first time I've ever heard of it being done as a strategy.
Take everything you can get. Football players wear white gloves if their opposing team is wearing white because you get away with the hold a little more. You don't see the neon color on a white jersey.
I feel like the color I used to usually get was
Sinnott.
usually the one at the bottom of the barrel and they were clearing out.
Yeah. Sinnott with his 5th 3. He's got 19. And Jacobson with an and one. Again, and one opportunities brought to you by Pac-Man's Concrete. You can contact Nick or Jason at 612-804-5222 for any and all concrete needs.
And good take there by Jacobson. I thought he might have shuffled his feet there.
I don't disagree with you. Sometimes I do, not there.
And in fact, when the whistle blew, I thought it was for a travel.
So Jacobson, a 77% free throw shooter on the season. Oh.
Miss, back tap, grab it. You don't need to do that. There was no possession off of a rebound. You don't need to hit it.
That's your Walthall 3, side rim, no good.
Yeah, and that's something that Jeremy, that is a travel again. Yeah, off a missed free throw, it can be back tapped because there is no possession on that. As long as he doesn't pass it, it can go all the way into the backcourt, and it doesn't matter. They called a jump ball on that.
Yep, both players touched it at the same time. Immediately goes to the alternate arrow, and it's going to be Hawks ball. Gavin from 13 feet, back rim. And at 2:24 left, Altoona up 4. Hawks are going to have to dial up the pressure a little bit.
Yeah, and now it looks like they're a little more content to pull it out. There's plenty of time. I don't think you need to foul at this point. 2 minutes to go.
But you're okay with fouls like that?
Yeah, if you're going for a steal, I mean, they can happen, but I don't think you're doing it on purpose. I don't think Joey did that on purpose. A lot of contact on the foul, but I think he was going for the ball and bodies collided. And we're going to double out here. So we had been seeing some doubling in the corner. That's out here on top this time.
It's going to be a foul there on Thatcher. Nope, on Evan. His 4th. And I'm going to tell you all about Firehelm Langer, a CPA firm with offices in Baldwin, Ellsworth, and River Falls. At Firehelm Langer, our clients are our top priority. We offer the skills and expertise of a large CPA firm combined with the personal attention and responsiveness of a smaller firm. When you partner with us, we take the time to get to know you, understand your goals, and build a lasting professional relationship. We invite you to turn to us at Firehelm Langer for bookkeeping services, payroll services, financial projections, tax preparation, tax planning, and all of your accounting and tax needs.
Yeah, and that foul going against Evan, that is a big call.
And that's a big rebound.
And that is a huge rebound. Nice job by Hibbert, and we've seen him get his nose in there on a number of rebounds, and that's a huge play for them. And now Evan, he's got to be careful up in the top of that zone.
And that's going to be a foul on Becker.
And that's going to send Clausen to the line.
Yeah, that's what you don't want to do. So Evan with his 4 fouls is 17.5 average on the season.
Yeah, and other teammates also have to recognize that Evan has 4 fouls, and if it comes down to a fouling situation, they've got to know that he's got 4, that he really can't foul. Somebody else has got to step up and do it.
Right. I think we're going full deny here on the inbounds.
Yeah, nobody on the ball. We're face guarding. And again, nice play there by Altoona to recognize that immediately, get it back to the passer.
So when you look at free throw percentages, you have Becker at 68%, you have Sinnott at 70%, Gunderson at 83%. That's a basket by Grayson Becker.
Yeah, and you really don't want any of those 3 going to the line.
Hibbard.
I think at this point I would take my chances with anybody but those 3.
Yeah. We don't even have Hibbard on our sheet here. Ambrose. There's no Hibbard. And Gower is a 53%. I want to thank all of our sponsors here at Blackhawk TV. One last time while we're on air. Timmerman Realty, Nielsen's Foods, St. Croix Garage Doors, Firehelm Langer, Flagship Ford, Wisconsin Credit Union, OEM Fabricators, CW Garage Door Distribution, Baldwin Lightstream, Fenner & Jewelers, Hubbardson Concrete Solutions, A-Star Concrete, Strikers Lanes and Sports Bar, Jensen Studio, Western Wisconsin Health, Bolts Plumbing and Heating, The Smokehouse, Schaefer Financial Services, Bumper to Bumper, White Cap Financial Advisors, DMS Repair, Lakes Gas, Phoenix Bar and Grill, Village Pharmacy, TMS Auto, Pete's Construction, Fern's Lawn Care, American Family Insurance, Justin Nygaard Agency, St. Croix Custom Apparel, and Family Chiro Care. Thank you to all of our sponsors here at Blackhawk TV.
Yeah, and kind of watching Hibbard's game, he's a guy that gives you a lot of energy. He's getting a lot of rebounds. He's gotten his hands on a lot of balls. So kind of not surprising that he doesn't show up much on the scoring stats, but he's done a lot of things for Altoona tonight. Kept a lot of plays alive.
Yeah, he didn't.
He got it.
In the last box score, he had 6 rebounds in the game against us, but didn't really have any other counting stats.
And there
so
we go.
That's the guy you don't want to foul.
It isn't, and Altoona set it up so they would have a 2-man game so that you would have to foul one of those 2.
Right. Yeah, Gower, the guy on the floor right now to foul is Gower, who's 8 for 13, 61%. But you know what? Sometimes
you have to foul who you can foul, and sometimes they
and
miss.
And Gunderson hasn't seen more than 1 ball go in tonight. Sell, good. He's in double figures. And it's a 3-point game with 30 seconds left. So are we fouling immediately?
Well, if I'm coaching, I don't. I foul once they cross half court. I try to get a steal until they get to half court, or I try to get a 10-second call. You got 30 seconds. To me, that's plenty of time.
Okay.
What are you doing if in your situation?
Well, the one thing that I'm wondering is it worth having Evan on the court right now when you have timeouts? Right? I mean, if you can take him out, foul, sub him right back in the game. If you get a turnover, you can call timeout.
Yep.
I mean, you have 2 timeouts. You want to keep one. You want to have one available for the if we need to make a basket and call timeout with no time left, right? But you
Yeah.
still have that other one. And now it's like, if I'm Altoona's coach, I'm saying, hey, we're gonna wherever Clausen is, let's get the ball to that guy.
And that's exactly what they're looking at doing. Right?
Okay, so foul on Bienendahl here. His second. Becker's going to go to the free throw line. He's missed threes, 5 for 8 tonight. Shoots a lot, but a little shy of 70% on the season. The thing with Grayson Becker is dude's played a ton of basketball in his life and has shot a ton of free throws.
Yep, and again, they chose to foul right away, which I also think it's a defensible situation.
Ooh, in
especially
and out.
when they miss.
And now Coach Benoit is not going to call timeout. He's got a play called.
And he's holding up 2 fingers. I don't know if that means that they're calling play number 2 or if he's saying, hey, we can get it 2.
It's a double screen to Joey for a 3. It's not there. He shuffled his feet. No call. Gavin's got to go now. Here's the timeout. So you have a play designed, right? You're going to run that play. You're going to run it through. If you get Joey an open look, you take it. You don't. You reverse it. We call timeout. Now we draw something else up. Tonight we've had Jacobson with the 3, Clausen with the 3, Jensen with the 3. On the season, when it comes to three-point percentage, Evans a 38.5% shooter on 78 attempts. Gavin is 2 for 11 on the year. Joe Jensen has 11 of 45, but has come on late. We mentioned Jacobson, 7 of 39 for 18%. Thatcher Walthall, who I'd anticipate is going to be the 5th guy on the floor, and he is on the bench, 11 for 32, 34%. So your best options here appear to be Clausen, Jensen, or Walthall.
Now, with that said, let's go back to the common discussion. Obviously, we know who. I think you want those guys to get the shot off. If you're Altoona here, do you foul right away?
Do I? 100%.
Absolutely. And the question is, when do you foul? Because you don't want to foul necessarily right away.
Yep.
That gives an awful lot of time.
Yep.
You can't let a lot of time tick off. And it is a tougher thing to say, hey, we want to foul. You can go foul them right away. There's still 11 seconds left.
Right. My thing would be as soon as they try to get in their set, right? And I would tell you when that is. It would be right about
and they're going to run out
now.
I believe. Nope.
He's just going to dribble and he's going to have to heave. Jacobson, corner 3, no good. Sell misses the putback. And the Hawks will fall short tonight.
Yeah.
It's Altoona 48, Baldwin-Woodville 45.
And to me, it looked like Jacobson really would have had a good look, but he looked like he felt like he had to hurry the shot. He had time, and it looked like he just wanted to get rid of it. He had time, I think, to get himself square, get it up, hurried it, and ended up coming up short.
Yep, we'll be back on Thursday, I believe, for a girls' game, and then you'll be back, Stiddy, on Friday. We'll have a boys' game. So two more events here in the West Gym this week. For Zach Ambrose and Anthony Stiddy, I'm Jeremy Nygaard. I want to thank you all for joining us tonight. So long, everybody.